me now. First, Tim, I was so struck by the optics of all of this. Obviously, it was very scary and upsetting what happened. Thankfully, it was not. More people weren't hurt. No one was killed. Thank goodness. But just like at this moment, when people are not happy with the right track, wrong track, they're not happy with the economy, for the entire party to be like, you must build us a ballroom and we're going to use taxpayer money, and this is the most important thing in America right now, struck me as shockingly tone deaf.
Yeah, 400 million. We need 400 million of your dollars to build this ballroom right now. And it's going to be very gold. Very, very gold. And here's the picture of it. It looks very gold and very fancy. How are things going for you? How do your school rooms look? How do your hospital rooms look? The ballroom's going to look amazing. Yeah, there it is. I don't know, man. I think that it's interesting because what this has shown is that there's been something that Trump and his the Republican Party and the MAGA media apparatus has been very good at for 10 years now, which is something happens in the news cycle and yes. Trump says squirrel. And everyone goes and looks at the squirrel and talks about the squirrel and talks about how important it is. And oftentimes that is, something terrible that the liberals have done. Sometimes it's something that Trump wants to do. But everybody sings in one echo chamber about it. And they've been much better at that than the Democrats have. It just doesn't feel like it's working on this one. Like on this one, that is something that works if you're tearing down the other side if they're doing something wrong. It maybe works if people are kind of happy with what you're doing and they're just, interested in whatever the story of the day is. When people are really upset about what's happening at the pump with the Epstein files, with the war in Iran, to just like get everybody singing from the same ballroom hymn book, I just don't think is doing them any good.
Yeah, and I think, we were just showing the pictures of the destruction. I think a lot of people were like aghast at the destruction. But the actual, whether you build it, no one cares really that much one way or the other. I think people are opposed to it, but generally just in the concentric circles of things people are animated about in this country, things they care about in their lives, how is this your obsession?
Yeah, and I think to Tim's point, there's something really off-putting to the American public around the idea that the president deserves an in-kind taxpayer-funded reward for dealing with the unsavory aspects of his job. Security is part of what the president has to deal with. And I also think there's a cognitive dissonance to the fact that this conversation is taking place when King Charles is there on a state visit. There are so many trappings about the American presidency that are austere, that were designed by the founders and the 200 years of our history as a visual contradiction to European